jump right into this, okay? Everyone's been asking me because I've kept quiet. I've kept very quiet. Khleo, so what'd you think about Black Panther? Let me tell you what I thought about Black Panther, ladies and gentlemen. I thought the movie was great. Okay? I thought the movie was great. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why exactly. So, on the first weekend, I didn't go see it. I didn't want to go see it on the first weekend. I wanted to make sure everyone got it out of their system. You know, I didn't want to be influenced by what I was going to see on the internet and Instagram and the memes. And, you know, for the average movie fan, or for the person who doesn't know this comic book world, I didn't want to sit in the theater, you know, with that surrounding. Like, when it comes to my Marvel films or my DC films, my overall comic book fan, you know, when I go watch these, I want to just enjoy the story that I'm being told. So the first weekend, though, I did make sure to purchase a ticket, because it was very important that you support this film straight out the gate. You know, and I'm sorry, have you guys seen the numbers? I mean, goddamn, it is the best opening of any of the Marvel films so far. It's blown everything else out of the water, which I said was gonna happen. I told you I said this was gonna happen, because it's that important. And once we all get behind something as people of color, when we see it, we want to be represented. We want to have a good time. We want to be told a great story. We want representation in these films and the story. And that's exactly what happened. I believe. Hold on, I'm gonna check. Hold on. And you know, I'm not gonna like edit this out. Like, hold on, let me go check the headline. Let me make sure I'm not tripping. So what does it say? Black Panther gets best first week out of all Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. That means it killed off Civil War. It's killed off both of the Avengers films. You know, that's amazing, and that's what it was about. At the end of the day, it was about the support. It wasn't about, you know, the people who don't know the story and don't know the characters. It was literally for the people to walk into a theater with a purpose, and the purpose was to support, finally have representation to this scale. You know, when I say this, I'm being realistic. I'm like, yo, we had Blade, and then, you know, there's Black Falcon, which is Captain America's sidekick. You know, there's been heroes that were black, but not to this scale. Like, this is the biggest scale. This is Africa. This is a black man. Like, this was it, and it worked. And god damn it, did it work well. So let me get to why I love the film. Okay, story. I think they told the right story at the right time. Like, this was it. They couldn't have told a better story. Like, it was so right for the representation of what is happening currently, you know, within the world. And it's, everyone is speaking out there. Like, everyone has a voice, and, you know, thanks to social media, everyone's opinion on, like, low-key matters. Because if you can get 100 people to agree on one thing about something being bullshit, and half the time it may not even be bullshit, that thing that everyone is coming together about can be torn apart. They told a story about someone's voice, in my opinion. There's a reason Killmonger, or by the way, Michael B. Jordan's portrayal of this character, I believe, was as exactly as it should have been. They're already putting him up there as now the best Marvel cinematic villain. But the reason they are saying that is because his story was so relatable. You know, everyone definitely understood where his character was coming from, because we've all felt that way. The fact that his oh shit, damn, I gotta stop. Okay, I don't know if I can give spoilers. I won't give spoilers. Because, you know, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the film, so I won't do that, because I've seen it happen and people get pissed off. I will not be the spoiler guy. Fun fact, Kadeem, my brother, hates me for that shit because I was bad at it. I've ruined a few things for him because I'm like, oh, oh, you haven't seen it? And then I tell him the story, and he hates me for that shit. So, sorry, Kadeem, when you listen to this, bro, I'm sorry. You know, I'm a spoiler guy. I watch it, or I read up on it before I go watch it. Anyway, his story is so relatable, and that's why I think the internet and everyone's opinion is pushing the fact that he is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe villain that we've seen yet. My personal opinion, I've enjoyed the actor who plays Loki in the Thor films. I think he does an incredible job as being the best Marvel Cinematic villain that I've seen. But Michael's portrayal of Killmonger is something that should be applauded and appreciated and looked into. On a deeper scale, I would love to sit, if I ever run into him again, I'm gonna have a great conversation with him, or I would like to have one to see, what other places did he pull from, because I see so many similarities between how he was acting and what I've seen in certain areas outside of just, actual films. I think that he pulled a lot of his influence for this character from the character Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z's character Vegeta has a very kind of similar past. Damn, I can't give the spoilers away for the film, but it's there. There are certain things that are influential in this film. Not only that, not only his character, not only Michael's portrayal, but even in the film, the shot selections. That was my second favorite thing that I loved about this film. So first was the story. Second was the shot selections that they chose. For instance, the very first fight scene between T'Challa and M'Baku, when the 8 men came running through the gate. Damn it, I can't give the spoilers away. I'm sorry. Okay, so there's a fight scene, and I could be tripping, but I don't think I am, and that's another thing. I can't wait to either run into Ryan Coogler and ask him, or whoever was the fight coordinator for this film. Did they take influence from a film called Bloodsport starring Jean-Claude Van Damme? Because that first fight scene is like low-key a shot-for-shot remake of one of the fight scenes in Bloodsport. And if it is, dope. I'm just happy that I spotted it. And if it isn't, okay, maybe I'm tripping. But there's definitely some real similarities between the first fight scene in Black Panther and a certain fight scene in a film called Bloodsport. If you haven't seen that film, Bloodsport, the rest of them don't worry about it. I think they went up to like Bloodsport 5. But the first one is like the coolest one. I watched that movie so many times when I was younger. And then I watched it again when I was older. I was like, God damn, this movie's so corny. But it's actually a really, really cool film. So you should definitely go check out Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, if you've never seen it. So that was my second favorite thing, again, was the shot selection. Another shot selection that I thought was so dope. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to give away this one. There's a shot where Killmonger's on one side and T'Challa's on another side, or Black Panther's on the other side. And they're pacing. They're talking to each other, but they're pacing back and forth. And it's almost as if how two wild animals would pace each other, getting ready for battle. It looked like a jaguar and a panther, getting ready to pounce on each other. The fact that they chose to do the shot selection from Killmonger's angle behind his third person look was like the dopest way to show like the overall, momentum of that scene. It was a crazy shot. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, look out for it. There's a shot where it looks like how two wild animals, like two cats getting ready to go at it, would look, out there in the battlefield and, going out there for blood. So those were the things that I loved about the film. If you haven't seen it yet, please go take yourself to go check it out. Great story, great acting, great shot selections. I think it was exactly what it needed to be at the right fucking time. Great film, cool. It touches on family, but at the same time, it was so real, and that's what I think was most important. They didn't. Ryan Coogler and you know what? Hold on, stay there, guys. I just want to see the writer. Hold on, I'm not gonna edit this out. That I'm looking this up either. Writer, Black Panther. Who wrote the film? Because I want to know, did they take influence for... Okay, so screenplay, of course, boom. Ryan Coogler and Joe Robert Cole. So I didn't know, not only did he direct it, but he also wrote it. So that makes more sense to why it is the way it is. I love the fact that they kept it so... Look, you could have given this film to anybody else, and they could have, because of the overall influence of the world and social media and how we are as people of color and what we want to be represented as, you could have fucked it up by making it too perfect. You understand what I'm saying? You could have fucked it up by making it where, there's just no wrong here. Black people have done no wrong, and we've only had wrong done to us. The fact that they kept it so real about, the lies and like the hidden truths that they had to cover up in certain areas to make sure that a kingdom could be built and established and continue to thrive. The fact that they chose to do that instead of making it so, clean, Because I'm being real with y'all. If you would have given that to anybody else, that's the route they would have went. Because of the overall influence from social media and everyone else's voices and tired of being represented in this way. No, the fact that they kept it real. They kept it a G. Because anyone else would have tried to make it like, oh, no. There's no bad going on here. No, we're not going to have this part where this person did this and we're not going to highlight those facts. No, it was important to highlight that because it proves the point that everyone got some shadows. Everyone has been through some shit, and not everyone is bulletproof. As great as this king is, do not think there ain't some shit going on behind closed doors. But that is just the overall truth of history when it comes to any civilization. Bruh, there is no one out here that is perfect. Everyone got secrets. Everyone got shadows. Like I told y'all before, I think on the very first episode of the podcast, everyone got skeletons in their closet. Some people have fucking graveyards. But, like I said, I thought this film was exactly as it should be. But, goddamn it. But, as a comic book fan, there are some things that I'm highly, highly pissed off about. So, that was my pen that you heard. Let's get into this. Let's get into what I was very, very upset about when it came to Black Panther. I was upset the fact that there is no Infinity Stone shown in this film. Now, a lot of you listening to this, you guys may not be hip to what an Infinity Stone is because a lot of you guys don't even follow the story in which they are telling in the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe or the comic books. So you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But let me just hip you guys to game, okay? Here's what's going on. They've already, throughout the previous Marvel Cinematic films, they have been leading up to the next film in line, which is the Infinity War storyline. Some of you may remember the Tesseract. It's that blue thing that they kept showing in Thor and Captain America and the Avengers. And then Loki kept trying to steal it. And then there's the Mind Stone, which was in, I think it's in Age of Ultron or Civil War, one of them. And then there was the Reality Stone that was in the second Thor film, which was like a red stone that almost like wiped out everybody. And there was the Power Stone that was in the Guardians of the Galaxy film that like they used at the very end, I believe. And then in what was the last one? Doctor Strange. At Doctor Strange, there was the Time Stone. It was that it's in his necklace. It's green. There's one stone missing that we have not seen on any or seen in any movie yet, and it's the goddamn Soul Stone. I assumed going in to watch the film, because I know the back history of Black Panther, that the Soul Stone was gonna be how T'Challa, as a Black Panther, can go back and talk to the previous Black Panthers. I thought that the ancestors of him were all living, they're like spiritual being inside of the Soul Stone, because that's what it does in the comic books. That's what I was assuming was going to happen. Instead, spoiler alert, I know I said I wasn't going to spoil some shit, but now I'm talking about what I don't like, so I'm going to talk about this. The Soul Stone is not in there. It's not in Black Panther. And how Black Panther goes and talks to his the previous Black Panthers, or his ancestors, they have a ritual for that, but it's not with the Soul Stone. So that is another reason where I'm like, okay, this film was strictly made for what it was strictly made for. Because if they would have put that, I guess if they would have put that in there, it would have lost a lot of people, because a lot of people aren't following through all of these Marvel Cinematic stories to actually know what's going on. So this takes place, I guess, out of that loop. And that's why, even from a marketing standpoint and from the production standpoint, to put it forward and for its release, it's strictly for exactly what it is for, to kill at the box office, because it is time for the representation with Black Panther. And by the way, I see the rah-rahs online, and it's dope, and I get it, and I understand it, but it's like, hey, guess what, guys? This is still a Disney film, and it's Marvel, so this is, y'all just be aware, just understand the next thing that comes out that it has a black backing and a black, you see the person of color on the posters, you should go support that too. Okay, just putting that out there. You should go support that too. But there's no Soul Stone in here, and that's what pissed me off. I was like, wait, the film just ended. I'm like, what? So where the fuck is the sixth stone? Okay, so the sixth stone, like, okay, so Thanos has a glove. Thanos will be the main antagonist of the Infinity War films. And he has this gauntlet, and it's called the Infinity Gauntlet. And he puts those stones pretty much on like each knuckle, like one on the thumb, one on his index, one on his middle, one on his ring, one on his pinky, and then the one goes like right in the middle of his gauntlet, right? There's a stone missing, and I thought it was gonna be in Wakanda, but it wasn't. So that's literally my only thing that I was kind of like, I can't even say I was mad or pissed or I didn't like. I was just actually I can. I was pissed. Where the fuck is the soul stone? So now I'm forced to go watch the next whatever to figure out where the hell it is, because it wasn't in there. And I assumed from the comic books that this is how they were going to set it up. And nope, I had the carpet pulled out from underneath my feet. Other than that, I thought that Black Panther was exactly what it needed to be. It was well done. It was well shot. It was well written. It was right on the money for what it was supposed to be. It was it. So congratulations, Ryan Coogler. Congratulations to an incredible cast. Congratulations to the crew for putting together such a great project, man. You know, down to wardrobe, down to makeup, down to weapon design, down to overall costume design. I think it's an incredible film. It's dope to see the representation. You know, there will be, like I said, depending on how this one go, will we see a Black Panther 2? Abso-fucking-lutely, we're gonna see a Black Panther 2. We'll see a Black Panther 2 and 3. And like I told y'all, I think on the previous podcast, because of that, and because Disney has went forward and bought out the rights, like back to the X-Men and things like that, we could see Storm now make her return to Wakanda. Storm could be in one of the next films because she's an X-Men, but previously you couldn't see her. You couldn't see the X-Men in any Marvel movies. Now you can. So that means Storm could now potentially become the Queen of Wakanda. So now she can control the weather over there in Wakanda. It would be amazing. It's dope. Angela Bassett low-key had the Storm wig going. Damn it, I'm giving away the spoilers. Fuck. No, you seen that in the trailer. Fuck all that. Anyway, moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Next subject. Like I said, if you have not seen Black Panther yet, go check it out. I just went on a 20-minute rant about how good the film is and the one thing I didn't like about it. But other than that, go for it. Congratulations, guys. Y'all nailed it. It was lit. Moving on, man. Let's talk about this NBA YoungBoy guy. Hey, man, like... Yo, what's going on? It's Khleo Thomas, a.k.a. Mr. Slick Living. If you enjoyed this clip of the AwareWolvvves podcast, make sure you sign on to patreon.com/Khleo Thomas and pledge today so you can have access to the full episode.